So this is the ATX cabinet. The cabinet, we're going to keep all the components. So this is the front panel. So nothing fancy about it. It's just a box. It is empty at the moment. It has 2 fans inside. That's it. Next, we're gonna see the power supply. So this is the power supply. So I'm gonna open the box. This is a new power supply, in fact. So there is manual. This is the power cable. And this is the power supply unit. It has a fan. It generates a lot of heat. So it has a fan. This is where we plug in the AC. And it is a 550 watts power supply. So this is where all the components are getting plugged in. So that is where the DC output comes. So this is the specification or spec of the power supply. Some screws and stuff which came with it. And these are the different set of wires. We'll be using some of those wires. In fact, 3 of them we will be using. These wires connect the power to different components we have seen. So this is the main motherboard cable. So this part goes into the motherboard, and this is where it goes into the motherboard. Good thing is that you cannot do it wrong. It just goes only here. I'm gonna plug the fan into the heatsink before I connect the power supply. It's a clip. So we didn't do this before. So keeping the fan for the heatsink to maintain the heat. So this is the CPU fan. So this is the only fan we're gonna keep, in fact. So this is the power of the fan. So CPU fan, that white male part you can see down there. And this is how the female looks. Gonna plug it in. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to remove the cover of the cabinet. So this is how it looks. It's an empty box at the end of the day with a lot of places to screw things in. So this is how it looks inside. Again, an empty box. This is where the drives are kept. There is a fan on the back of it. So this is a rear fan. We won't be using it. There is another fan on the front. We won't be using it either because our CPU doesn't generate much heat. These are the different grills for the devices. For the different cards, we'll be using 2 of these grills. We'll be removing those grills to expose the ports of the cards. So this is where the motherboard is kept. Down floor. So this is where the CD drive is kept. We don't have a CD drive. This is the front fan. Like I mentioned, we won't be using this either. So these are the different cables which are to be plugged into the motherboard, which are coming from the cabinet. Most of these things has to do with the front panel. We'll see them in detail, but this is where the wire goes. to the front panel. The front panel is this. Now next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fix the power supply. I'm gonna place the screws in. I'm gonna place 4 screws. One thing I would like to mention here is don't use any power tools for this entire assembly, and screws has to be as less tight as possible. Use it with hand. So now I have placed the power supply. So this is the power supply. So this is the motherboard power cable. I'm gonna plug it into the power supply. So you can't do it wrong, only one place it goes. It's a little tight. This is how it looks. This is how it looks from the other side. So this is the power of the motherboard. The other end which is to be placed into the motherboard. This is the assembly of the motherboard and CPU, RAM, etc. So next what we're going to do is we're going to screw that motherboard into the cabinet. This is the screw holes. So there are 6 screws. I'm going to place only 4 of them because normally I take these things pretty often and these are not moving parts. So I'll be placing only 4 screws. So this is where it goes. None of these things you can do it incorrectly because this is the only place it goes. It's all standard, it all matches. Again, not very tight. 4 screws, all the screws are coming with the cabinet itself. When you buy the cabinet, you get the screws. It's very sticky. I have a very magnetic screwdriver. That's why it got sticky. This is the last and the 4th screw I'm gonna keep. Straightforward, easy. Little more tightening. Not too much. So these are the screws, came with the cabinet like I mentioned. So this is the other end of the power cable which we just plugged in to the power supply, and I'm gonna plug that in here inside the motherboard. It's pretty tight, so this could be a little tricky part to take it out. Plug it in is easy. I have find it difficult to take it out. It's very tight cable, this one. So just press it in. There is a lock on the side. Again, you cannot do it incorrectly because the only way it goes is this correct way. Yeah, it is done. How it looks. So this is the other end. We have already seen that all the way going to the board. It's not in focus, but yeah, it's better now. So this is how it looks. Now next we're gonna do is we're gonna give the power to the CPU. So this power cable is for the CPU. It's written CPU on the cable. So one end on the power supply and other end on the motherboard. So not sure you can see it. So there is a ATX 12 volt. It's written here in white. So that's where it's gonna go. This is the power of the CPU. I'm gonna plug it in. Again, there is a lock. So how it looks. The other end of course goes to the power supply unit. Again, you cannot plug it anywhere incorrectly because there is only one place it goes. So the CPU is powered. And the motherboard is powered. This is how it looks. Not very much focus. So this is the different cables for the front panel. So these are the cables for the reset power LEDs, different LEDs. The last one is the hard disk LED. This is the power switch. This is a reset switch. And the LEDs. So there is different places in the motherboard where we can plug it in. We will see that next. So these are very small cables. It's a little tricky to put it in. Very small. And this is where it goes. So it is clearly written there, very small. Let's see if we can see it in the camera. Yes, we can see it. Yeah, so P LED plus and minus, power plus and minus, reset plus and minus, HDD plus and minus. So those are the things we're gonna keep. Total 8 connections. So let's do that. I'm going to do the power first. I did the power. Now the reset. It's very small. There's a little bit of a struggle going on. Unfortunately, you can't see because of my hand. So that is the minus power LED. The HDD LED has nothing to do with the hard disk itself. It's just the indicator. Even if it is not there, the hard disk will work. So these are all cosmetic components. These are not essential components. Power is essential. Then only you can power on the CPU or the motherboard. So I'm gonna press the HDD LED. So we have connected 8 connections to the front panel here. Pretty much you can see only my hand. Let's see if we can get any closer. It's very small. This is how it looks. Not very visible, but this is the best I can do. The camera. So this is a front USB panel. So this is a USB 3.0 cable to the front panel. I need to place it into the motherboard. Everything has to go into the motherboard. That is what it connects everything else. This is the USB connection to the front panel. It is written USB there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, USB 3.0. This is the connection to the front audio panel, the mic and the headset. This is going into the motherboard right here. So again, you cannot plug these things incorrectly because that is the only place it goes. You cannot plug it upside down or anything because there is a empty slot. It has to match. So I plug that in.